say one silly A. Silly A. Silly defense B. Oh, but I'm a police, but I'm trying. But it's the good.
I am Wabadimo, the
Oh, but 2 days ago. 2 days or 1 day ago.
If you still haven't subscribed to the channel, I suggest you
Then we have a vet. Why, but good motodi kanda mwakono kanda. What's by the everybody wanna click number 8. Not click number. Number 13.
Moves and is still in session. So leading on from our previous video, today I want to just touch on how things fall apart and some of the things that we need to expect or rather need to know about, especially when moving into the spiritual journey of finding thyself, of discovering thyself, and everything in between. So now, one thing that I will put out there, things do fall apart, things will fall apart in so many ways you've never imagined. You'll think you're living your best life, trying to make it in a career, trying to do all these things, and by the time you answer Idlozi, by the time you answer your calling or answer to Idlozi, your life suddenly takes a whirlwind. Like, it's like you will regret the day you went to go get a consultation. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Because I always say it's like all this time you were living a fake life. That is why your life will constantly be a struggle. Anything and everything you need to work towards will always be a push and drag. Because honestly, it was saying go left and you're busy go right. It say go left and you're busy going right. So all these are things that happen, or rather you should expect. And when I say things fall apart, it doesn't come from a bad place, because things fall apart so that they can come together and make sense for your good. Things fall apart in a sense of abanye, they start experiencing izinto that they've never experienced. Some will start to lose themselves. You find that someone who's probably has a calling, they start to give in to alcohol, they start to give in to promiscuity. Some people, they start to lose into their luck. I don't want to use the word, I'll use the word luck loosely, but I'll touch on the word luck I think in our next videos. They start to lose intantayabo, whereby isn't just start going wrong. Maybe all your cars start getting messed up. You start losing all your things. You get into accidents almost all the time. You bump into dogs, you bump into cats, you bump into mice. Literally in your house, damn, I'm trying to think about all the things that could possibly happen. You could be sick all this time and you could go from doctor to doctor and not even get a diagnosis, and end up finding yourself in a theater 3 to 5 times or 10 times in a year to only be treating something that is even spiritual. Because the reason sometimes our bodies fall into sickness mode or whatever, it shows of the displeasement or rather unsettlement in the spirit. So what happens? Your body will obviously react to what is going on to your spirit, because we are energy. I say this all the time. We are energy. That is why when something is wrong, you will bother. You will go through these things. When you're feeling something, you will bother. You go through all these things. So coming back to what I've been saying, when it gets to the point where streets, I always say that I will come to indoors because I always love at this guys. You literally wake up, do your makeup, and look like you are an Oompa Loompa of notes. And you will wear a wig. You wore it the other way around. You'll buy clothes, they'll start looking, ugly. Even with your choice of wardrobe, you'll start wearing. I read a lot, guys, when it comes to people's energy and spirits. Even sometimes when it comes to your wardrobe, maybe your wardrobe colors will start to change, You're not picking things that are weird looking, or sometimes drawn to certain colors. Some people, you lose your hair. I suffer from a hairline. Like, you can go even to my baby pictures. That is nothing like that. It is logically. I wasn't blessed with that. So we move, right? We move. I have it better. There are people that have it worse. Like I've seen worst case scenarios. So as our Danawendos, we must come together and hug each other and cry and laugh, because we go through the most. So you will also lose interest in your partner. Sometimes you might even fight with your partner for no reason, to the point of divorce, to the point of you going back home. Sometimes your kids become troubled. There's a lot of things that happen. I could point them out. The list is endless. And that is when now things are now starting to fall apart, because now you will see that, I'm losing my businesses. I'm losing everything I'm starting to do. My money is just disappearing. 25, 26. What is happening to my life? There's a lot of things, even with your dream, there'll be a lot of rage in all of that. Your dreams, if you're not fighting, it's fires, you're being chased by dogs, you're being chased by this, you are arrested, cops are after you. There'll just be a series of a lot of things. But side note, disclaimer is that all of these things happen to us differently because we are experiencing different gifts and different callings. I don't want to lie to you. It's a sad period to go through, and especially when you try to explain it to someone that does not necessarily understand what it is that you're going through. They will, at some point look at you like you're just making things up. You will suffer very, serious cases, or rather mild, or sometimes even soft or light cases of depression, personality disorder. There's a lot of things. That's why sometimes I say there's a thin line. There's a thin line. It's good to always go for a spiritual X-ray. So once I think those things start happening to you, it's when we go into panic mode. And sometimes it's very sad when there is no support from our families, because our families are very secretive. You'll find them saying, it's in pour mayonnaise in your face, pour every spice in the cupboard in your face, and telling you that these things don't exist. And sometimes your parents will even get to a point of disowning you, or sometimes even lie and say, sometimes I always say we are too quick to being angry at our parents and not understanding really where they come from, because they grew up in a time where they were told that if you go this route you will die, baba. You will die a young death. So they will also try to have instill those rules that were instilled by their parents. I don't want you to be sangoma. I don't want you to take this calling. And to only at a later stage discover that yes, there is a calling in Kaya. The pain in that is so much painful. I want to say, look at the scenarios of, I have clients that have sometimes a family support system and clients that don't. The clients that have a family support system, go back on, because at least you are helping them from a point of reference. The family is there to guide, say, yes, we know about this, no, we don't know about this. But for someone who has been disowned by their family, or rather what you are when you're faking all of this, or because I'm a family guys, they will say, families will say very hurtful things, I think we should have a national Day or National Wabadimo Day, because we should come together, guys, and just have a huge ass picnic and not even care about anything, drink and chill and laugh and some is in your face, pour every spice in the cupboard in your face, and telling you that these things don't exist. And sometimes your parents will even get to a point of disowning you, or sometimes even lie and say, sometimes I always say we are too quick to being angry at our parents and not understanding really where they come from, because they grew up in a time where they were told that if you go this route you will die, baba. You will die a young death. So they will also try to have instill those rules that were instilled by their parents. I don't want you to be sangoma. I don't want you to take this calling. And to only at a later stage discover that yes, there is a calling in Kaya. The pain in that is so much painful. I want to say, look at the scenarios of, I have clients that have sometimes a family support system and clients that don't. The clients that have a family support system, because at least you are helping them from a point of reference. The family's there to guide. Yes, we know about this. No, we don't know about this. But for someone who has been disowned by their family, or rather, what you are when you're faking all of this, or because I'm a family guys, they will say, families will say very hurtful things, I think we should have a national Day or national Wabadimo Day, Day, because we should come together, guys, and just have a huge ass picnic and not even care about anything, drink and chill and laugh and cry and walk without having to be in a space where you feel like you have to, kneel for someone or bow for someone, because I think that's what's happening to our beautiful spirituality. We turn into so much of a religion that we will put so much of a hierarchy or to the spirituality thing. Smang must bow to smang must bow to smang. All of that shit in my eyes is sometimes nonsense. I believe respect is mutual. But a person wants to say, no ways. I got you, Josie, it's not you. Once you take it like that, it means there's some people who are obsessed with power, but who have low self-esteem in their lives. And once they start attending to use those agencies, and now they want to abuse their power, and we must now, you know what? There's Wabadimo skincare. Fix those needs, guys. Because while we go through the most out here, sometimes we go through the weirdest things in the name of yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that. So, a family support system is sometimes beautiful, but sometimes, especially when you have to walk this journey alone, when your parents don't want to support it. And sometimes, maybe your mom, your dad, your grandmother, and it's sometimes the same type of sickness. I always say, look at the sickness thread. Like to the thread, look at the sickness thread. It's the same type of sickness. And they're nursing it. We always say it's a generational thing. Actually, with the westernized terms, if we say it's a hereditary disease or a generational thing, it's not so much of that at most cases. Sometimes when we look at it, it's sometimes it or then it's low-kali or low-based, you find a good say, it's always from sometimes I always say, look at Awako as a white sheet, right? With all the generations of come, they left the footprint, and then we figure this footprint, they were like, hell no to the Aussies, and all of a sudden, it was a lot. So now to take that white sheet and wash it so that you can use it on your bed so that you can sleep on it, it is gonna be a lot. You will need a lot of washing powder, a lot of vanish, a lot of Javela, a lot of Mr. Min. What am I saying? Mac. No, what's that? Mr. Min. No, it's not. Okay, there's this thing that rub used to be in a powder foam. It's like handy any vibes, but it's a powder foam. It's green. Somebody please find the name when you find it. All those things, you need all of those things. So all of those tipos and all of that, it's you going for your consultations, you going and finding goods. Yeah, now you must answer to Nkulu, now you must answer to Gogo. You go and get chick from Wabadimo, you go get stay soap from Gogo, you go get boiling water. Now they say, get the cream sunlight. Now that the one is gonna remove this thing. It is a lot of work, I don't wanna lie. So with support system, it goes a long way in assisting you when there's a unit, standing behind you. But sometimes if you're alone, you literally have to wash it alone. And sometimes it's alone because it's like before you can get to answer your calling, you have to clean up all this mess. And sometimes it's painful because I always say you cannot wrong your forefathers. You cannot right your forefathers' wrongs. All you can do is say, I'm here. Where do we go from here? Because Gogo's Mang, let's Gogo's Mang, they are no more. I cannot make peace in between the two of you because I would do that. But now for me to access Gogo's Mang, you must be at peace. So if you find that Gogo's mama is no more and you have no trace of them, that's when now we go back and sound and you not discover what's goodness doesn't it. So Mina as a sangoma when I come, or rather when you come to get help from me, when I go to the nosy CSI, when back in the file up, yo literally that that's where we start. Then we start with case 1, case 2. Then you see what Sergeant Gokobela didn't do the right things. He did go through a case, but at least he left here. Or then Gogo's mama tried to take over. Then we know what we are working with, you know. But sometimes it's very sad, guys, when our families just neglect us and they say it's born. Because there's nothing beautiful like going through your calling, with your family supporting you, coming to visit you, doing all the things that they need to do for you. You know, more be a kaya, it's a nice duty. It's sad for people that don't have that support system. You literally come home to yourself. You come home to Ndumba, sometimes even in your apartment. I've seen that. There's nothing wrong with having your Ndumbas there, guys, because guys, you have cried tears of eyes, you know, because you said go, but I don't have anywhere to go. It's gonna sometimes limit us, because I always say there's a lot of things that happen to us. As funny, don't compare Mpho to Lerato, don't compare Lerato to Ebuko, because we are not the same. That is why I always say sometimes it's good to have someone that is mentoring you spiritually or guiding you, because in Jela it was all about family, but don't always let our family, like I say, let our family come with good energy so that they help. So even if in a family, sometimes the family goes good, I tell some hospital like this is like so if honestly there's no one doing that who you want, yeah, you will move, my God. You will move from one pillar to post, trying to find the self of yours. Some people they will even come to the new man. Hey, go for a cat. Now we are Christian. My dad is a pastor. Hey, shake him Toro one Robertson. Listen, sometimes our parents or their parents hide in religion because they don't want to face the truth. Sometimes you find the biggest procrastinators or the biggest people saying, yeah, Zangoma, they are the biggest Zangoma. Literally, you understand that? So sometimes because I always say this is life. Today you might point at me. Down the line, you will meet each other. That's just life. That's just life. So so where I was going with this is that if you're going to order this alone, it's very sad. If you have no one to reference to or a home or whatever, it is good that we have someone that is assisting spiritually. But sometimes also it comes with spiritual responsibility, you know what I say? Because also the calling comes in many phases, you know. People get all sorts of nonsense in their head that your big doses, your small doses, or you know, that could intimidate people. Get the H out of here. Focus on yourself. Because once all the same was we are in trouble in most cases, you know. And you find someone is sick spiritually. You just have to call them in the man there. Yeah, but oh Matilda. You still have a long way to go. If you come with that mentality, you being a healer is going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. I can speak about a lot of things, but I never say, hey, that part of my life is that part of my life. So where I'm going with this is that sometimes you find what's in your some of you, and then you find that within your calling or within your gift, you are stuck, you're stagnant. By number of likes, okay, I don't know how you're going to do it, but there are people that don't know what it feels to have a message for this level. There are people that don't know how it feels to have a dialogue with people's stuff. There are people that don't know what it is to say, as Mahilosi came and gave me this type of message, or this is what Mahilosi wants. Literally, you go in some Caribbean, gong, 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 and I'm a vocal, go, 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 go. And literally your daughters are having a party. It's like they don't even care that you're there. And it's sad because sometimes you feel like all of this is in vain. Why am I putting myself myself through this if honestly I'm not getting any results? The problem is, I said this in my previous video, okay, we say this together. Stop experiencing your spiritual journey through someone else's journey. Walk your journey for yourself. Live your journey for yourself, because when you now start experiencing yourself through someone else, you start now looking for these things. Yeah, what are my symptoms? My symptoms are dementia. Now when I'm posting out the channel, no one I'm nowhere. Not understand. If we would take up our bodies and we could see what's going on in our life, why? You would not even want this. So it is so sad that we go through a lot of things as abantwana bethu. Uthi usabhekile emsebenzini, umsebenzi uyaphela, uyathuka, abantu mababhekile you start snapping, you don't know what's wrong with you. Some people, that go so bad as even your body, you start having bad odor. Like, I don't like, guys, there's a lot of things. I'm not just doing bad. That's in terms of so sometimes I would say the reason why in there to see Buddha, when especially there's a calling involved, is because literally Amazon was going to have to be silenced generations and generations. And by the time they come to you, they're like, you have all the resources and you're going to tell us you need time, or you're going to tell us you want to take this by the church. Who are you? Are you? So you end up going through all of these things, end up experiencing all of these things. Now say because I always say sometimes for you to get to the center, you have to walk around in a spiral, but in a reverse way. Go back to where you went wrong. And obviously, oh, it's gonna do that. It's gonna tax you. Sometimes it can even take years before you can even say, I'm comfortable in my skin, I'm comfortable in my calling, I'm comfortable in being Isangoma. Because it is not necessarily every day. There are trials and tribulations. There are literally some trials are not even from Izangoma or other people or Baloyi. Some trials are within Zako. You need to be able to say, because literally, there are still ancestors that are somewhere there and are just angry people. So you need to be able to separate and dialect. No, I'm trying to feel other goes. She drains the hell out of me. But it's those things that you get to discover. They are beautiful, but they are draining. But with your journey, you get to find yourself and discover yourself more. So I know that I can say this so lightly, but things fall apart with that agency, and they fall apart painfully. So, honestly, in my world, in my head, I would like everyone should get Josie life cover. I know it's crazy, but you should get life cover that you pay from the time you are, maybe 18 or 21, and that you have that's going to carry you to your life. So that should you find out you have a calling, you have backup somewhere, you can go for therapy, you can literally go through a lot. I don't want to lie to you. But it is one day at a time. We need to start somewhere. That is why, us as a Wabadimo, this is not just about people that just fell in love with me when they saw me on the show. We were brought together by divine intervention, and there was a reason. Because this is a movement for me. Because it's I'm getting better with these guys. So we need to always look around those things and know that who we are and find help when necessary. And above everything else, what I want to tell you is you need to be patient. And it's not easy, Gogo. It's not easy, Kulu. I see the light in your life. I see the power in your life, but to tap into those things, you need to be able to be isolated from everything that is around you that is distracting you. Because literally sometimes even naked alone, we go through things as people sometimes will put their bodies because I want to say sometimes there's this obsession with being the most powerful that people go through the weirdest things. Like people will drink like monkey read or something. Let me just put an example out there. Or read something like you think in yourself, what is happening here? What like you understand that? But I say don't fall into that trap. Take your journey one day at a time. Listen to your nose, because once you get to that obsession, and you can right, so put the spirit go. So it's still now, it's like a mahab. It's going around where like it's a lot. So I just want you guys to know that there's a lot of things happening out there. Be able to pray to your noses. And if you are at a point whereby you feel like you are numb, you are tired, and you don't know where to go, it's okay. I always say it's okay to take at least 5 steps back. Observe. From 2019, I went to get a calling, but this is what's happening to me. I done 1, 2, and 3. Where am I going wrong? Or am I walking the wrong journey or what? And for spiritual entry is very important that you cannot run away from this. And uncedo, it's not an overnight thing, guys. I always say. If Mutoto go and now today we will wake up with the result tomorrow. You must know for it. Hasi Maroko Badimu. Badimu Batoka patience. Badimu are very strict. Badimu test you in so many ways. They check your resilience. They check a lot of things. But take yourself at a time. There's gonna be days, Gogo, when you're gonna wake up and sometimes don't even know what to pray and psalm. Don't even know what to say. There's gonna be days where you literally feel like I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know how I feel. Sometimes I always say it's good, go and feel, go through what you're feeling, because we are allowed to feel that. I don't want to lie to you, jokes aside. Wabadimo, it's not an easy thing. It's not. It is not. I don't want to lie. There's nothing I can say besides that it's not. Not all the details is gold. That's all I can say. And if you're really, going through all of these things that are going on, it's just that you're looking at what your vision is this way. Look at this way and see things what they are and love life with one. I don't wanna lie. So before I let you go, there's so many things going on around us spiritually. There's so many terms for it and whatever. But no, for the what is happening around us? We are entering a new wave of energy. We are entering a new sphere of spiritual enlightenment and a new awakening. So that is why most of us that are here, most of us, I know that I've been going through the roads. Most of us term will say for an example, but now I say it's where our systems have been putting themselves and we are being affected the harshest way. And there's also things that we need to overcome. The portals are open. That is why some of you will feel very exhausted to even pray. Some of you will feel very bad patterns of sleeping. Some of you are not eating correctly. Some of you are your diet eating the worst thing. You're feeling so sad. You're feeling like you want to cry. You're feeling like a lot of things. This thing will just continue for a short while. Longer maybe than we expected. But all I can say is seeing something that you see. Avoid things or people, because right now there's so many things or people that are gonna or spirits that are gonna manifest themselves in the form of human. Over nothing. Even now we're living in the social media age. They will come through all platforms. They will come even in Jillian. So when you see these things, avoid. Remember who you are and keep walking, because we are just in a different time. If you think if you work overtime in winter, you should see what happens when it's a rebirth. And pregnancy is not an easy thing, and that is the whole process of one's spiritual life. you go through all the terms. Literally, it was that was carrying you through all these terms. And now, whatever you have inside of you are carrying you through all these terms. So, most of us, I think, are in the final trimester of our pregnancy, if not you have given birth. And the first 6 months of Ugnesa Ingane, they are not the easiest as well. So you know where you are with your spiritual life. Just take a survey, go back to the drawing board, but be patient with yourself. Don't follow a routine life. Do what your spirit wants, because we don't feel things the same, we don't go through things the same. But from myself to you, I can say thank you so much for coming through to view this video. I am Wabadimo, the advocate of Idlozi, Mama Gazweli, and of course Big Brother Mzansi season 3 winner. I haven't said that in such a long time. I think it's become part of me that I chose to put it aside. But yeah, we can never forget that. We can never forget that. You can never forget that. But thank you so much for coming through to the channel and viewing my videos as usual. Don't forget to binge on the channel in your free time. Use your boss's Wi-Fi, your boyfriend's or girlfriend's Wi-Fi. Use that Wi-Fi. Watch this video. We are on a road to 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Yes, we can. Yes, you can. From the 18,000 I left going into the house, I come out and now we're just cruising nicely on 60K, So we can do a lot, I know, because the more our numbers go, it means for the the numbers are just increasing. People want to learn, people want to grow. So thank you so much. So yes, from October, yes, I will be fully back at work, and all necessary details are available, I think. But just if not, I think the number will be here, that will wait if you want to book for a consultation with me, and all details you'll find there. So please don't slide in my Instagram DMs or Twitter DMs inquiring about those things. The necessary contact platforms for that will be available. So I will be so humbled and glad to see you all of again, past clients that I left hanging prior to the show, and new clients. It will be an honor for your ancestors allowing me to walk your spiritual journey with you. So let us grow together, and I will be seeing you again very soon. Apologies for our uploading schedule, because normally I thought that since class is back in session, we'll at least get 2 videos a week. So now, because electricity load shedding has had us by our Mpho, I'm trying to balance in between that. When the load shedding's off, I try to edit. It's just a lot of things. But thank you so much for your love and support continuously. I will be seeing you very soon, but this is not goodbye, but I'll definitely see you later. From my light shining into your light, I am the advocate of Idlozi. Ugogo uNkomo yahlaba. Thokoza.